Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is give you a walk around and review on the new 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe. So we'll look at some of the exterior styling, some of the interior stuff, and see if this might just be the perfect three-row SUV for you. Now, this is the 24 Santa Fe SEL, and this has the H-Trax, which is the all-wheel drive system. Now, there is a front-wheel drive as standard or the optional all-wheel drive, which we have here today. Now, the SEL is kind of a middle trim level. You're going to have about 5 different trim levels when looking at the 24 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now, this one adds the 18-inch wheels, and you'll notice a little bit different design language on the exterior of the vehicle, from the base model all the way up to the calligraphy, which is going to be the top-tier trim level. Now, what powers this model is going to be a 2.5-liter turbocharged engine. That's going to be good for 20 mpgs in the city and 28 miles per gallon on the highway with the all-wheel drive. That will go up a little bit if you're looking at the front-wheel drive model, and later down the road we will be seeing a hybrid version of this. Now, for styling up front, one of the design cues that you'll notice on the new Santa Fe is the H design. It runs into the headlights, it'll be on the back, it's inside the car. That's something that the Hyundai designers really built into this car, is kind of some hidden design cues that flow really nicely with the new design language here. You'll also notice on the hood, you've got your flat, no longer chrome emblem up there, and these cool LED lights and grille really give this a nice distinct look to the front of the vehicle. Now, this is the Phantom Black Pearl, and with the blacked out wheels with the silver, it looks really good, especially in the bright sunlight. This is an awesome color, and there's quite a few different color choices when looking at the new Santa Fe. Now, the biggest change from the previous gen Santa Fe is this is now going to come standard with a third row. So you can get the kiddos in here. If you need a little more space, you've still got the Palisade, which is going to remain a little bit larger than this vehicle. That's one thing I noticed right away. This has a nice lower roof line. So what they wanted to do is find something that also fits people's needs for the outdoors as well as parking in the city. It's easy to move about, it's easy to maneuver, it's easy to get in and out of traffic. Yet there is an XRT model, which is even going to be more outdoor focused, and that model, when properly equipped, can tow up to about 4,500 pounds. One thing that's awesome about the lower roof line is that you can easily put a roof tent up above, which is how Hyundai designed this vehicle. Plus, the opening in the back is going to be about 6 inches larger than the outgoing Santa Fe. So let's look at the cargo area. Okay, now looking at the rear of the vehicle in the cargo area on the SEL, we are going to have a power liftgate. As well, on your key fob, you can click the button and that will open it up there. So you do have storage in the rear here, and these seats are going to be a 60-40 split in the second row and then a 50-50 split in the back. So it's as simple as just pulling the handle, and then that's going to fold the seat down. They also do recline, but once that's down, there's little buttons here on the back, so I can click and hold this, and that's actually going to fold that second row, so I don't have to walk around the vehicle to put that seat down. So with all the seats laid out, you do have a ton of cargo space back here, or you can fit 6 or 7 passengers depending on how the Santa Fe is configured. There'll be captain's chairs for the second row, or like this one where you'd have 3-place seating in the second row. So let's hop up there, we'll check that out. All right, so in the second row here, I'm about 6'1", and where I was driving the vehicle comfortably, I haven't moved the seat. I've actually got knee room here, I've got leg room, and I've got plenty of headspace up above. Now, the third row, like I said, is a little bit smaller than the Palisade, but if they need a little bit of extra space, you can slide this one forward and back. It's going to move the left and the center, and then on the right, it's going to be on its own. Now, one other thing that's really cool is there's a little button down here or just above your shoulder, and if you click that, it's actually going to fold the seat and slide it forward so you can enter that third row. The third row is going to have their own climate setting back there. As well, you're going to have USB plugs in the side of the front chairs for the second row. There's also a handy little storage compartment down here that's actually pretty deep. And one of the other things they've designed into this vehicle is that I can actually open that center console from the back. So if the kids got stuff they want, they don't have to bug you when you're driving. They can click it, open it up, and grab a piece of gum or whatever they might need out of there. There's also plenty of cup holders and space. This is really nice, and it's hard plastic. So if you've got the kids in the car seat, it's not going to be ruining the cloth. It's going to hit the plastic first, which is really nice as well. So one other design cue, like I said, the H runs in the back here. It runs into the vents. It's all over the vehicle. That hidden design language is really cool and flows really nicely with the cabin. But let's hop into the driver's seat. We'll check that out. All right, so now in the driver's seat, we've always got our cell phone with us. So this SEL is actually going to have built-in wireless charging right here. And if you move up the lineup, actually both of these become wireless charging, but there also is a little spot for your device on both sides. And then you've got a couple of USB-C chargers down here. Now there's two 12.3-inch displays. The one on the right side, I've got my wireless Apple CarPlay hooked up. It's a lightning fast and very responsive screen, and you can also use the steering wheel here to pull up Siri, so again, your attention is focused on the road ahead. Now the other side is going to be your digital gauge cluster. So you can go through, see your fuel economy, some of your adaptive cruise control settings are going to be housed in there, and then on the steering wheel, that's how you control it all. Now this steering wheel feels like it was plucked more out of a Land Rover than out of a Hyundai. It's very luxurious. The leather appointed steering wheel is very nice. It's got the paddle shifters on here as well. So it feels sporty and it feels very upscale and luxurious when you're in the cabin. Now there's a few different interior color options. Obviously we have the lighter tan here today, and on these seats, these are H-Techs. So it's not a real leather, it's kind of a mock material, but it wears very nicely. It's very easy to clean, and with the press of a button down here, it's gonna be heated for the driver as well as the passenger. Now as you work your way up the lineup, you can also add ventilated seats as well as a heated steering wheel, but I think these seats and at this trim level and price point is getting you a lot of equipment and options when comparing it to some of the other vehicles out there in the market. But kind of back to our infotainment screen here. So there's a few buttons that can control it across. I can click Maps and that's going to pull up my Google Maps or just your home screen. Or one other thing that's really cool is your little parking camera here. You can actually click that button and pull it up, and then you can adjust how you want to see. You can get the full 12.3-inch display to be the backup camera. It is crystal clear and it makes it very easy to park. Or if you're trying to figure out if maybe the kids left something in the garage you can't quite see, you can click that before even putting into reverse, which is really nice. Now it's a dual climate control in here as well, so you can set that for each side or sync those up. And then we also have our drive modes, so you can go between sport, my drive, snow, and then normal. So like I said, this is the all-wheel drive system with the H-Tracks. So it's an intelligent all-wheel drive system that is going to help you get the best possible fuel economy, but you can switch those drive modes if you want to have a little bit more fun, or if the snow starts to fall, that can help you out there. So one other thing that's really cool here is our drive-by-wire system. So what that means is you just click this little button forward for drive, down for reverse, and then tap it for park, but you don't need a standard or traditional shifter here, so it frees up a huge amount of storage space down below. So like I said, this center console you can access from both sides, but then you do have a lot of room down here with a little 12-volt charger, so that is nice and very convenient to have when you're on the go. Plus on this side, you actually have a large storage compartment, whether it's the glove box up above or just even another storage thing. So that's a pretty cool feature. So on some of the Santa Fe models, this top storage compartment is actually UVC. So what that means is basically you can sterilize maybe your phone, your wallet, or your keys if you put that in there. So that's a pretty cool feature found on some of these Santa Fe models. But overall, like I said, the design language. So the vents go through, they look like H's, even the door hills are gonna look like the H design. So once you start to notice it, it does seem like it's everywhere, but it flows through the vehicle. And I think they did a great job with the design. It's kind of a driver-centric cabin here with the infotainment screen, because you gotta think 99% of the time, is it just you in the car, you got the kids in the back, you run into work, everything is very focused on the driver, and there's also a lot of safety built in. Adaptive cruise control, like I said, so you can set a distance on the road and keep that distance to the vehicle in front of you. There's also blind spot monitoring system. There's an emergency braking. You also have stop and go with that adaptive cruise control. There's so much safety built into these that really, if you or your family are in the vehicle, you're obviously going to want to make sure you're safe when you're on the move. So overall, it's a lot. There's a lot of different trim levels, different colors or options. So I think the SEL is a great trim level. It gives you a lot of equipment. It gives you a ton of style on the exterior as well with the new redesign. I think it's sharp looking, 28 miles per gallon with the all-wheel drive, now the third row added in, and a 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. I think if you're in the market for a crossover SUV, you have to get out and take the Santa Fe for a spin and see what you think. So that was just a quick look at the new 24 Hyundai Santa Fe. Now, if you'd like more information or maybe to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at Walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.